Alright guys, I'm Gizno. Welcome back to some more reactions. Today we are back with some more Miraculous Ladybug. We are looking at Simpleman today. This episode takes place around... Okay, honestly, I have no idea. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. This is the case where I don't. It could be after Wishmaker, maybe? I think? I don't know. Last episode was very crazy. It was the episode where we got to see Alia don the suit of Ladybug and become Scarabella. I thought the episode was good. And while I did have my problems with it, it was still very enjoyable. The highlight, in my opinion, of the episode was the relationship between Alia and Adrian as their superhero forms. I thought that it was a very different relationship from the regular Ladybug and Chat Noir form. And I really hope that they continue this. Even when Alia is Rant Rouge, I hope that her relationship with Chat is that very similar relationship where, yeah, they get along and, you know, we have moments where Chat helps Alia and Alia helps Chat, but at the same time, it's not the same. They can be a bit like snippy with each other. I thought that was very nice and a very welcomed change in the superhero dynamic. Because, you know, you have Alia who's very much into Ladybug in one way, and then you have Chat who's very much into Ladybug in a different way. And, you know, when you have those two people interacting with each other, that can create a little bit of tension, I guess. And it was very, very nice welcome change, and I hope it's something once again that we see later on in the future. The rest of the episode was good. I liked the Ladybug form, the Scarabella form that Alia had, and the villain I thought was really cool. I also really liked the Xana reference. But this episode, what I do know about it is I'm pretty sure Marinette's grandfather is going to be transformed, and it has something to do with Mano as well. So I'm really excited to get into this episode. Before I get to that though, real quick, just want to say thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys end up enjoying this video, then you can like the video, comment, subscribe. All those things really help me out. And subscribe and let you guys know when I upload next. So let's get into this episode and see what we have going on now. Alright, full disclosure, I've seen the first couple minutes of this episode because I've been trying to look for a good video with subtitles. So now I found one. I know a little bit about what's going on, but either I'm just going to cut that and get to the part that I don't know, or I'll just react again to the same part that I already saw. But just wanted to let you guys know in case there's some confusion. Alright, let's finally get into the actual episode, please.
Simplificador.
I was saying before that Marinette's room is kind of like a time bomb. Like, you have to be extra careful and make sure nothing, they don't like find anything, but there are just like secrets everywhere. So it's hard to actually move around. Also, I commented on the Rant Rouge backpacks because those are really, really cool, and I think they should definitely put them, like actually make them in the real world. It's the end of the world. They're like little monsters. Are you sure about that? Oh, the Kawamis. They're traumatized. In their long lives, they've never been treated like this. Marinette's like, I'm sick of this movie. I'm sick of Ladybug. Honestly, we've been seeing the same movie for like years now. Like, they gotta make a... They actually do have a second one, don't they, with Rant Rouge? Adrian, my Adrian.
Ninguém sabe consertar. E como eu sei que você é muito boa costureira, eu achei que você ia poder me ajudar.
What are they having this boy do? What's with the wings? They brought back the manga. I love that. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen that. It has been a while, right? They didn't, I'm pretty sure they didn't show it this season. Look at all the cool little backpacks. They have to be showing them off because they're actually gonna sell those. Like they're putting him like product placement at this point.
Não, porque eu vou levar você.
Kung Fu, querida, você esqueceu disso? Ai, já encontrei
Oh,
uma jovem
okay.
que lembra muito você.
Também não.
Porque
Oh, are you talking about what's her name? I forgot, but from the special. That's cool.
Não queira. Cuidar de criança é muito complicado. E eu tenho brioches pra pôr no fogo.
Oh my god, is he gonna get akumatized because he has to take care of kids? This man is hopeless. Okay, well, I mean, let's calm down, kids.
Eu vou mostrar pra vocês como fazer um canhão de batata.
What? No!
Esqueceu o canhão.
At least he's into it.
Muito perigoso. Vovô, vai ser simples. Um desenho animado.
But that's not how it's done.
Você acha isso simples? Por que tem tantos botões? E onde eu coloco a fita de vídeo?
Oh my
Isso
god,
aí
do
é
you not know what a
notebook.
laptop
Isso aí é o
is?
teclado. Não precisa de fita de vídeo. O filme tá no HD.
E que coisa esquisita é essa?
Fica tranquilo.
Oh my
vovô,
god,
você não
has he
precisa
been
fazer
trapped in
nada.
this
As crianças
in this
sabem
house
como
for
faz.
years?
Vou voltar o mais rápido possível. Valeu, vovô. Se comportem. Até... Agora eu...
Turn off the laptop and teach him about the old days.
Ele espera alguém ficar com raiva pra akumatizar a pessoa e faz
Hawkmoth
ela
should
acreditar que a
sue.
Ladybug e o Cat Noir
He's
são
not getting
malvados.
any money off of
Na
this.
minha época, essa coisa de bonzinho e malvado era bem mais simples. Eles trocavam uns tapas até o mais forte dos dois
Really
ganhar.
not that
Mas a Ladybug não
complicated.
bate em ninguém, ela tem o talismã.
Mas que história é essa?
Akumatizar a Ladybug e o Cat Noir são malvados.
Na minha época,
Wait,
essa
what?
coisa de bonzinho e malvado...
Actually interesting.
essa
It's a
coisa
bit
de
different
bonzinho
from how
e
it
malvado
is
era bem mais simples. Eles
here,
trocavam
like-
uns tapas até o mais forte dos dois ganhar.
Some of the villains don't think that Ladybug and Chat Noir are villains. They just want to do. They're just like, you know, corrupted.
E depois ela ganha.
Pare! Isso é muito complicado.
It's
Vamos
not
usar a
that
minha fita de vídeo
complicated.
da Copa do Mundo de 98. Pelo menos é muito mais fácil de entender.
Ask him out. I mean, this is like the perfect time.
Atrasar 89,5%. Quero dizer, de assistir os guarda-chuva de sorvete. Ai,
Oh my gosh, she actually asked him.
ai, de você me agradecer, que eu nem consigo te agradecer por me agradecer. Ai, o que eu tô tentando dizer?
I think.
Você não tem que me agradecer, eu é que te agradeço.
Oh,
Eu
I thought she was
preciso voltar.
asking him
Valeu
out
mesmo.
for a second. Like she said, get ice cream, but then after that she started vomiting out words.
Como sempre, eu estraguei tudo.
Você não acha que complicou demais as coisas?
Tem razão. O Wade vai me ligar de novo pra eu consertar a asa de novo e ele vai me agradecer de novo.
É mais complicado ainda.
O
Just
amor é
go
complicado,
back
Dick.
and ask him.
Eu não sei mais o que...
Tudo ficou tão complicado desse jeito.
Oh my god. Okay.
Confusão de um avô ultrapassado pela complexidade do nosso mundo moderno.
His negative emotions
Como
are
é
so
difícil
strong
se adaptar
he's going to get
quando
an
a gente é
Akuma.
prisioneiro do passado.
because he doesn't understand how laptops work
E ficar nesse mundo que ficou tão complicado.
and how superheroes work, which I don't even know how that's possible.
Neandertal, eu sou chefe.
Neanderthal, that's hilarious.
Tá bom, que tal o doutor?
Dr. Obsolete, you're just insulting him now.
É simplificador, então? Será que pode ser? Pronto, isso sim é simples. Finalmente uma coisa que eu entendo.
How do you understand this?
Não, vovô Holland.
Você foi akumatizado por nossa causa?
Aqui a vida é muito melhor quando tudo é muito mais simples.
Oh God.
Ai.
I guess Simpleman has a
Não
simple
esqueça a
costume.
lição mais simples de todas. Me entregue os
But,
Miraculous Ladybug do Cat.
wow.
Isso, espera. Simplificação.
Ah, não.
Seu vilão bronco.
You
Você não
rude
deixa de
villain.
ver. Eu vou retirar todos os seus poderes. Me explica uma coisa. Você quer os Miraculous ou não? Eu quero. Continue. Está vendo como a vida é simples quando não complicam?
I guess. I don't understand what happened though. Oh, he made Gabriel not complex, I guess.
Era complicado demais. Era só você dar. Ah, não é possível. Esse também está.
Eu sou a Nádia,
Ok.
jornalista na sua TV. Falo tudo o que acontece aqui. E eu...
Tu não tá dando pra ver os carros.
Parar? Ah, aqui.
Oh my gosh! Marinette.
Nossa,
Stop your
essa sessão de
foolishness.
fotos está muito complicada. Eu prefiro tirar fotos do Adrian sorrindo. Vai ser bem mais simples.
So did Marinette and Adrian get affected? I don't see why not.
Por que eu tô complicando a minha vida com essa vara de pescar? É só eu falar pro Adrian que eu tô apaixonada por ele.
Perfect.
Marinette?
Adrian, eu tô...
This was the only
O
chance.
helicóptero tá caindo. O que eu vou fazer? Transformar.
Cuidado, Marinette, isso é segredo, tem que...
She was just gonna do it in front of everybody.
Mas onde eu vou me esconder?
It's like, what's the point? It's too complicated.
Peraí, no elevador ou atrás de uma pilastra? Demorei demais pra decidir. O helicóptero...
Oh my god. How? Explain it to me. They jumped out before it was too late? What the heck? That felt a little bit too
Agora
complicated.
tá legal.
Transformation sequence was too complicated as well.
Tenho que salvar as pessoas. Escolher é tão complicado.
Se você quer mesmo simplificar, a gente pode ficar aqui comendo queijo.
Simples é fazer como a Ladybug. Ela sempre tem razão e eu tô apaixonado, então eu vou fazer exatamente como ela.
There you go. This just feels more complicated than usual.
Obrigado, Cat Noir.
Oh, that looks a little weird, I'm not gonna lie.
Quando acontece
That looked a
alguma
little
coisa ruim,
awkward.
sempre é culpa do malvado.
Fica tranquila.
Shadowmore, a gente tá aqui.
Vem lutar com a gente.
It's like this is too complicated. Just find me the final boss right now.
Isso aí, atrás e pegar. E eu vou ficar escondido. Desse jeito. Vou ganhar de jeito mais simples. Entreguem seus Miraculous.
You would think that Gabriel would be like, you know what? I'm just gonna go out and fight Ladybug and Chat Noir myself, because that's a lot simpler. The animation looks kind of, it's like the characters don't look like they're supposed to be there. Like it looks awkward sometimes.
Paris tá bagunçadinha.
But kitty, help us!
Dói.
What is going on right now? What is happening? What am I watching?
Mas eu tô cansada do meu Miraculous. Eu não quero
Oh.
mais ele.
Eu também não. Isso de super-herói é super chato.
I mean, do they actually mean... Well, I don't think Chat Noir means that. Never mind, okay. I was like wondering, does Marinette mean that? Or... But I don't think Chat Noir meant that it's boring, you know?
Prisão! O que está acontecendo?
Was this whole episode just to market those backpacks? Because I felt like that had the most attention in this episode, I'll be honest.
Nossos Miraculous em troca de bala.
De tudo que a
I'd
gente
do
já
it.
enfrentou, eu nunca ia imaginar que um poder tão simples fosse ser o mais perigoso.
Good, give him that charm. So we could
Sim,
never
tudo bem.
see that
Esse
supervillain
talismã mágico vai proteger
ever
do
again.
Shadowmore.
Proteger desse show de mosca.
Just shut up and wear it.
Antigamente o mundo era mais simples e eu entendia tudo.
I doubt it because there were superheroes back then too.
De te ajudar.
I like that. That's a pretty good message. Not only for the adults, but for the kids too, you know, being patient and helping the elderly with their whole, like, you know, understanding
Não, é
everything.
sério, por que eu me enrolo tanto assim? É que eu tenho medo que o
If this
Adrian me
episode
rejeite
doesn't
se eu
end with
confessar o
Marinette
que eu sinto.
asking out
É por isso que
Adrian,
eu compli-
I'm gonna call this episode a dud.
Se o plano for complicado ou simples, o resultado vai ser o mesmo. Então é melhor eu simplificar.
Okay.
Marinette, simplicidade.
Right now? Or
Adrian!
dud episode or
Eu
not,
só queria
it's
dizer
here,
que
it's
o
now or
guarda-chuva
never.
de sorvete adora costuradas. Não, o que eu quero dizer é que o sorvete vai ter mais asas pra costurar elas e cantando. Ai. Você gosta de pescar?
Eu não sei, Marinette, eu nunca pesquei.
Oh,
Vamos lá!
we're looking at a dud, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking at a dud. Oh, you know what? That's a shame. But that's the case. This was a dud. Let's see those backpacks one more time.
O filme ainda não.
Hey guys, before we get to the actual discussion, I just want to quickly talk about Thomas's tweets that he made on October 1st and why I just absolutely disagree with them. Basically, he was talking about that if you guys didn't like this episode, it's because you didn't understand it. And as somebody who didn't like this episode, I can tell you that absolutely ridiculous. I was gonna go on this whole rant about all of his tweets and just go like down line by line, because I think he made like 3 or 4 tweets about this, and like I was just gonna go all in on it. But you know what? I'm just too tired, so I'm just gonna quickly say this. The reason why I didn't like this episode isn't because I didn't understand it. It was because it was a bad episode. And if there are people out there that like this episode, I am not going to shit on your opinions or on your taste. I just personally found this episode to be incredibly boring. So to have the creator himself tell his fans that if you didn't like it, then you simply just didn't understand it, you weren't smart enough to understand the complexity of Simpleman, that, I mean, it just screams Rick and Morty fans from like 2019, the toxic Rick and Morty fans that talked about that if you don't like the show, then you simply are just not smart enough to understand its incredible complexity. It's not that deep. It wasn't anything. I understood what they were trying to do. I just think it was executed poorly. And he also talks about like how younger kids are probably going to be able to understand this better because they're not ship hungry like, older fans. That's also absolutely ridiculous. I, for one, do not care about ships. I think they're icings on the cake of series, but I don't think that they make the series overall. Even though I should say that Miraculous Ladybug does thrive on shipping. Like, that's one of the things that makes this show so popular, but I won't get into that. I did say that if this episode ends and Marinette doesn't ask Adrian out, then it's a dud. And I'm not saying that because, I want my ship to happen now. If it doesn't happen now, then I'm upset. The reason why I said that was because if she didn't ask him out, then this whole episode, Adrian and Marinette would have done absolutely nothing. The only person who has grown in this episode was Marinette's grandfather, and let's be honest, he's not exactly that important to the show. So to have your main characters not learn a single thing is absolutely ridiculous and not good for an episode. The only thing that she did learn, Marinette, was to not sabotage a whole photo shoot just to talk to a boy. By the way, a lesson that she kind of already learned back in like season 2 or 3 when she and Chloe had tried to sabotage Kagami when she was with Adrian, an episode where Thomas Astruc himself actually appeared in. So, I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. The idea that you like, if you didn't like this episode, it's because you're not smart enough to. It's a Miraculous Ladybug episode. It's not that complex, let's be honest. I understood the tricks that it was trying to do. I understood like what it was doing with the animation and everything like that. It wasn't good. It wasn't clever. The execution was poor. It's as simple as that. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't like it when people try and get a rise out of Thomas and try and just spew negative things at him so he can respond. That's not something that I like, and I usually respect the man. I usually respect Thomas. But right now at this moment, respect is the last thing I have for him. So that was basically it. Those tweets honestly got me really heated. I just wanted to convey my reaction to you, because this whole reaction series is me giving you guys my reaction to things, and I guess things like this tweet counts as well. So that's basically all. Enjoyed the discussion. It's a little bit more calm. There's still a bit of a rant, but it's not as bad as this one. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I'd be lying if I said I didn't laugh at some parts, but like, were those jokes worth whatever the heck I just saw? Was it worth it? I think not. The thing is, like, we were told that every episode would have amazing big reveals and stuff like that. New transformations, new superheroes, or new reveals that has to do with Gabriel and Adrian and stuff like that. This episode had none of that. That's the first thing. The second thing, Marinette and Chat Noir had really nothing to do with this episode. And like the only thing that they had to, like, Marinette's whole thing was like being too complicated and not being like, simple with her whole plan, and she was planning on sabotaging her own work in order to get Adrian's attention, just to, I think, ask him out. I think that's what the plan was for ice cream. But that went nowhere, right? It's like they set it up. It's the same thing with the New York special, right? They set up that Marinette is gonna finally take the next step into trying to get Adrian to like her, and ended up with nothing changing. Like, she talked about how she wanted to be less complicated, but nothing changed. She ended up still being complicated, and she ended up not asking Adrian out. She ended up, like, the only thing that she didn't do was, oh great, you didn't break your own, you didn't end up messing up your own work. You ended up not sabotaging this whole photo shoot just to talk to Adrian. Like, that's the only thing that, like, I guess she learned. But I feel like if she tried that, she'd just be regressing. Like, if she did that, she'd just be regressing. So really, she just learned to not be a horrible person, which is something that I didn't know that she had to learn. Like, it would have been, I would have liked this episode a lot more, and I would have felt like that Marinette and Adrian were there a lot more if she just asked him out on, you know, a fishing trip. It would have been funny if just like, hey, you want to go to a fishing trip? And whether Adrian says yes or no, it's not the point. The point is that Marinette tried. But she didn't even do that. She just started blubbering again. And it's like, okay, well, you just made it complicated, and it ended up meaning absolutely nothing. On top of that, the whole simple thing doesn't really make sense, because a lot of the things that they were doing, like, it just felt like the episode was like, they were like, okay, everybody's being more simple, but it felt like they were just dumber. Like, simple doesn't mean dumb. It just means that you're just maybe lazy. Like, that could be what it means. Like, simple means lazy more than, you know, dumb. But like, the things that they were doing, like, you want to trade candy for ice cream? I mean, you want to trade your Miraculous for candy? And it's like, yeah, sure. But I'm like, no, that just means they're dumb, not that they're simple. Simple because their goal is to defeat Hawkmoth and defeat the akumatized villain and to protect their Miraculous. That's their goal. How they go about it is what makes them either like complicated or simple. So if he asks, you want to give candy, then it's like they should be like, well, no, because you're bad and you work for Hawkmoth, so that means that candy is bad, you know? So that doesn't make any sense at all. And I felt like that was going on throughout the whole episode. It's like, I felt like there were times where it's like, yeah, you know, I'm just gonna do the simple thing, like the thing with the officer, like just arresting people, because that's just a lot simpler than having to deal with like, are you right or are you wrong? You know, just thinking about that's dumb, that's complicated. I'm just gonna arrest everybody to make it easier. That's simple. But just doing the whole candy and Miraculous thing didn't make any sense whatsoever. The message was good. I liked that. You know, it was good. I was gonna say okay, but you know, it was good. You know, having kids like take a little bit of responsibility into helping the older generation get used to the newer generation, since, you know, time moves so fast and innovations come, you know, all the time. So I can understand that. So, you know, we as the younger generation who are more adaptable need to help the older generation that might be either stuck in their ways or just confused, you know? That I'm fine with. But the episode overall was just so... It was a slog to get through. It was a slog to get through. And like I said, this whole season has been doing so well with, like, you know, keeping that pace of, you know, always something happening, always something new going on, so it gets you excited. This episode reminds me of like the past seasons. I remember when I started this season, I was thinking, okay, there are some episodes where I'm gonna watch it and some episodes that are probably not gonna be important and it's not gonna be fun to react to. These are the kind of episodes I was thinking about, and these were the kind of episodes that I thought we got past. You know, I felt like this wasn't needed at all. And the thing is, it's not only it wasn't needed, but it wasn't entertaining, because the main characters didn't really do anything in this episode, and it's just, the villain was pretty the fights weren't good by design, sure, but they still weren't good. And the animation was very weird. Like, the characters felt like they weren't actually there, and it felt out of place. I don't know. I am not doing a discussion for this episode. I am sorry, I am not. If there's something that I missed, I will talk about the backpacks though. I'm wondering if these are like, this episode was basically a commercial for the backpacks, because I was talking about the backpacks. The backpacks are the best part of this episode. Everything else was but the backpacks were great, and they made sure to show them like real good, you know. So I'm wondering, honestly, I hope it's a commercial, because at least this episode doesn't feel so useless, you know. At least there are backpacks coming, you know. Those designs looked really good. So honestly, if I were them, I would make those backpacks. But yeah, that's about it. Dearest Family, I think, is the next episode, and I think that one's gonna be really good. I am really excited for that one. This episode, though, was a dud, 100%. And wow, just I'm done. No, the rant does not need to continue. I am finished, 100%. But tell me what you guys thought about the episode down in the comment section down below. Tell me what you guys thought about my reaction, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, bye.